minute. Everything is now live. Well, welcome to Freedom Friday. We are actually preparing to take a very quick time with you and give you our top 7 as we promise to do every month. And this top 7 is actually going to be from the top 7 of how to fulfill your spirit. So we have a lot of questions that come up throughout the week, and this Q&A session is all about answering those questions quickly and precisely. So Freedom Friday, the guest that we have is going to be moved to next week. So we wanted to go over how we can connect with self and others and just dive into a couple of thoughts. Again, you're going to want to do some research on your own. Yet just some reminders of the top 7 that have come up for us to remind you about as you go into the month of April. Yes, it is our birthday month, my twin and I, and we are celebrating the opportunity to still be under 50. With that, whole nother conversation. So I wanted to go into 7 perspectives. The first one is fulfilling your spirit from a spiritual perspective. Ironically, in June of 2018, FEMA actually worked with spiritual alliances to understand how they could, and Homeland Security, could create initiatives to have faith and opportunity connected in jurisdictions with leaders, community leaders, etc. And there's a whole report, and if you're like the site, please reach out to me. I'm happy to send you the report. It is a pretty lengthy report. Yet the point of it is that there is an opportunity for a spiritual perspective to really be a high impact of focus in the time that we're in. So that would be the number one contemplation to give some retrospect to. There's a lot of self-reflection. There's a lot going on in the world we live in today, and no matter what your spiritual perspective is, there is an opportunity, and I'll show you how that shows up as we move along. There is also a gratitude perspective. This is from positive psychology. Gratitude impacts happiness from optimism to selflessness, spirituality, empathy, and self-esteem. Again, fulfilling your spirit, whether it be a gratitude journal, whether it be sharing it with it. Some people don't like to journal. Some would prefer to send a text to friends. I remember starting, somebody had asked me to hold them accountable to scripture. And that became a whole process of 100 people that then ended up becoming a Facebook group. And I'm very thankful for that opportunity to be a vessel to those individuals. So our Christ-inspired community is one way to get involved in that from a spiritual perspective, and also a gratitude perspective to be in community, whatever that is for you, whether that be saying thank you to your family, whether that be saying thank you to an individual that has come from a service perspective, and that is where we go next. It is so important to be in a place of service today. We are in many unknown territory, and you never know, by helping one person, you may change the world. And that's exactly where we're at today. You want to remove the depression, step into volunteering, whether that be picking up the phone and calling somebody that may be all by themselves, whether that be sending a Marco Polo to somebody that you know could appreciate hearing from you. Whatever that is, it's important to be a vessel of communication and come from a place of service. Donate a meal, go shopping for somebody that can't go shopping. Whatever that is, learn how to help others. It does help you. Next is an educational perspective. A lot of you are homeschooling now. A lot of you have already been homeschooling. A lot of you are discovering ways to learn personal and professional growth. Years ago, when I gave my first seminar in 2006, a wonderful gentleman walked up to me and said, "Oh, you're just another Stephen Covey." And I'm like, I'll take that compliment. It took me a little while to completely understand it. And Stephen Covey created a program or a book called The 7 Habits. If you've not read The 8 Habits, I'm going to mention that in a minute. There's tools to teach your children, teach yourself, to really build your habits. We've got some amazing programs in our habit finders as well. Yet there's tons and tons of resources to educate and grow yourself and learn personal and professional development in the season we're in, and we'll give you many more resources down the line. From a relationship perspective, from a business to a personal, people are relying on you to be loyal, to provide a service, to be in focus on improvement. There's all kinds of different marketing aspects and quality assurance, being a place of support. and ultimately being a fulfillment of satisfaction. One of the individuals I talked to today says, I always get value when I communicate with you, and that's where we always want to be. So, and we hope that these continue to bring you value, each of the different videos that we're providing to you as we move through this unique time of life. So, a financial perspective, as you see, I have a this is actually a life wheel that we use in our coaching one-on-one and groups, and it just takes all the different perspectives. We actually have 8 on this one. We're only doing the top 7. It's ironic, actually, for me personally. One of the ones that I forget regularly are fun and recreation, and I'm sure a lot of you are looking to determine all that fun and recreation right now, and make sure you're taking some time to figure out what that is for you, because it does impact your finances. What you are focusing on is going to expand, and all of us are really contemplating how we address all of those pieces of the puzzle. And so make sure you're communicating with your CPA, communicating with your bookkeepers, or if you don't have those resources, go to SBA for small businesses. There are tons and tons of resources. Your local bank has tons of resources. And make sure you're listening to some trusted individuals. There's a lot of posts going on right now of people being cautious about any forbearance agreements and being aware of what's going to happen in those forbearance agreements. So be real educated in the process, but understand that it does fulfill your spirit. Don't ignore it, address it, because when you address it, then you at least get some clarity and some steps to move forward. So just want to remind you to do that. Most importantly, a health perspective from a mental, emotional, spiritual, and social and physical perspective. Wonderful individuals that I've been blessed to get to coach, they constantly getting reminded the value of making sure that they're getting some outdoor time, some physical health time, because it not only relieves stress, it gives some peace of mind, it gives some joy. And I love this picture. This is actually a military perspective, and yet a very, very realistic perspective. All of us need to have the discipline and choose to be from a health perspective. Any of these resonate with you, any support we can be, schedule a 15-minute call with me. Right on the website is a tool to schedule our call. We are offering discounts for anyone that needs us to work within their budget. We are not one of the companies going to offer everything for free, and yet we are in a position to work with budgets and be purposeful in supporting everybody moving forward. So feel free to check out. We do have the Masters League competition. We've got All About You, all the different aspects, but at the end of the day, we're here to listen. And whether it be a 15-minute call, whether you need more, it's our gift to be a option to help fulfill your spirit and move you forward. Thanks for listening. Have a wonderful weekend. And we will end.